What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom of the video. I'm just gonna hop right into it. So this one, we're doing what is a North Carolina story, but it has been reaching national news because it actually happened today while I'm doing this on early Saturday morning. But y'all see this Saturday. It happened Friday, but happened out of Raleigh. And for a thesis for this, a Raleigh woman ended up shooting two attorneys outside of a courthouse. So I was actually planning on doing another video. They actually went around Chud the Builder, but this one, took off today. So I felt like this was very urgent, and it's from the city I'm from, so I felt like it was necessary. So what happened is there was a civil suit regarding the town of Rolesville and the lawyers who were shot. One of them they represent the town of Rolesville in this case. But the civil suit, where it's been going on for months, we'll get into that in a couple of minutes. But this woman, Gwendolyn White, whatever happened during the hearing, caused her, like I said, to become belligerent. That's how they described her. She then leaves the courthouse, retrieves a handgun from her car, and she comes back and shoots attorneys Mary Harris and Jeffrey Whitley, who are attorneys for a Fox Rothschild law firm. So obviously, they said both are, in good conditions. It's been more reported about Mary Harris because her father spoke to the media. The police said that Jeffrey Whitley is stable, but we really haven't heard much from that. Obviously, hoping for a full recovery. Then we don't want to still see anybody unalive in this situation, even though we're about to see how fucked up of a situation this is entirely. But because at the end of the day, their lawyers just getting hired for their job. I mean, it's like a defense attorney. You can't hold it against a defense attorney for doing something they're paid to do, but you can see, you get what I'm saying. What this is all about, as the news is just reported, oh, it's a civil suit, but they're not really giving details about what's going on in the actual incident. The civil suit is regarding, and supposedly has many other cases of deleted evidence, but for pertaining to Miss Gwendolyn White, the civil suit is regarding unaliving of her mother, Elaine White, who was under care of Duke Riley Hospital, Oxford Universal Healthcare and Rehab Nursing, and the DHHS APS, or state of North Carolina. There has been a number of details out. She has been actually at this for months and months on end, so I think her reaction, she just reached her with ends with it. And, she has a number of Facebook posts going on here, but to go to the specific allegations of abuse that she is saying they did to her mother, it says donations for justice, elderly abuse and neglect. Elderly abuse is unacceptable at any age, and at age 90, mother Eileen Abram White had the exact civil rights as the next person to not be neglected or harmed by Duke Riley Hospital, Oxford Universal Healthcare and Rehab Nursing, DHHS APS, or state of North Carolina. The daughter, Gwendolyn, has never neglected her mother, period, in 39 years, and would instead, she fought hard to protect her mother's civil rights day in and day out until her last days. Even after contracting two different forms of E. coli and UTI at Duke Raleigh, and the daughter simply begged for her mother to get E. coli meds, and Duke Chief of Medicine / doctors denied meds, and continued to denial at Oxford Healthcare and Rehab Nursing. The state APS blocked the daughter 100% in every way possible for 7 months, 28 days until death, from October 17, 2024 to May 13, 2025. It said this could be your grandmother, mother, daughter, sister, loved one, or family friend. Associate pictures appear to have acid burns poured in her open wound, said by the wound provider at Oxford to Director Charles Brown, reported to Amanda Fish in email. Or was it Coca-Cola, she stated verbally. You've seen pictures taken May 13, 2025 at the funeral home at 5:38 p.m. of her body of 32 open bed sores transported directly from Oxford Healthcare and Rehab under guardianship of Wake County DHHS APS Amanda Fish and Gentiva Hospice. With 28 to 32 plus sores / abrasions are all over her body. Half her right foot is burned off from acid. 2 different forms of E. coli, UTI, pneumonia, shingles spread over left shoulder, caught from another patient. bone infection and blood infection from embedded boot mesh in her right calf of left, big hole, chest wall caved in, backbone you see thyroid wall, stomach sores, arms, hands, buttocks, legs, starvation, dehydration, less than no blood in her body at death, bowel under fingernails, urine, and diaper, and they left her blue and gray eyes open just for me to see, frozen cold in place. R. Swenson Funeral Home said her body was rotten flesh falling off the body, decayed. Oh my God. Smelled like it was left out and refrozen, and she had been dead for at least 24 to 48 plus hours. Transporter said she had been dead since last Thursday, Friday, or Saturday when the state government was closed over Mother's Day. Her daughter is alone trying to get justice. That is the specifics of the abuse. Obviously, from there, she tried to get this ex lady. She tried to go legally. This is trying to get a civil suit. Obviously, a lot of this is behind the scenes and not national. So, and obviously, they're not trying to put this out there like that. So it's hard to say, but you can tell another story through some of her Facebook posts. Now, there's pictures of this. Obviously, I can't put the pictures of it. It's very. I just say one, they're not appropriate for YouTube. Two, it's just it's hard. It's hard to look at. It's hard to look at. I'll just say so. If you want to, you gotta do that in your own free time. But I can't and won't put them in here. A couple of the Facebook posts. This was actually from a couple of days ago. I guess this is Gwendolyn posting through her mom, or she has a mom's Facebook account, so she can keep her mom's name alive. But it says back in Wake County against the Rolesville Police Department at 9 a.m. The judge has already decided after she vacated her original ruling, we'll get in that in a couple seconds, on January 13, 2026, because Rolesville Police Department attorney gave the court an empty flash drive to give to me in emails with no reports, queries, or year on any emails that were cut/pasted. Now let's see how justice reacts. As the original judge has already stated on the record, the Superior Court knows I'm telling the truth because they had their own investigation completed. Now let's see the judge still rule for law enforcement since they confessed to deleting over 1270 exculpatory evidence and over 31 body cam footages, including a double attempted murder. Now the double attempted murder is interesting because who they said did it. So another post she made, this is from May the 9th. It says Rolesville Police Department Attorney Harris, which I assume is the Mary Harris that she ended up shooting, on January 12, 2026, that the Chief of Police Simons personally ordered the deletion of all exculpatory evidence regarding my 90-year-old mother, Elaine Abram White, and Gwendolyn E. White, per an affidavit filed and signed December 30th, 2025. The contempt of court case goes back in session May 18, 2026, before Judge Bedford, who's been asked to recuse herself for various reasons, including ex parte with Attorney Harris, confirmed in her own motion March 19, 2026. I witnessed the judge, TCA manager, and Harris exited TVA office prior to the hearing, where Harris gave the judge a blank flash drive and empty files. The case ruling, January 13, 2026, has been vacated. The judge is now reviewing 11 cases involved in this cover-up with the state and the Rolesville Police Department helped to cover up a murder, an attempt, double murder on March 2nd, 2021 by the wife of a KKK Grand Wizard, which is crazy. If you can't trust the courts and the police, then you have been screwed. And we got royally screwed, but it's not over. On April 28th, 2026, they literally tried to unalive me in a straight-on total car loss that left me injured. But watch a God. Now, after reading all this, if you are still confused on exactly how all this correlates and things of that sort, I did dive a little bit deeper into the court documents to get, to get the full picture. So, this body cam footage that she is requesting is supposedly from a March 3rd, 2021 incident where the RPD responded to an on-scene call at a petitioner's home after engaged in a verbal altercation with her neighbors Michelle and Craig Larcy. Says both officers were wearing body-worn cameras during this visit, and this is the footage that she is looking for from this altercation she got in with Craig and Michelle. I'm not gonna say who Craig and Michelle are looking like from the picture she is painted, but if you are intelligent enough to know, then you know that she's trying to say they are. But once you dive deeper into it, she does give you a list of other incidents that has happened between there since this incident. So It says they have been, besides the details about that led up to the unaliving of her mother, they said they were harassed repeatedly, daily, acid thrown in the face twice, poison in food, drinks, meds, through AC repeatedly. Hospitalized from 2025. Said Gwendolyn hospitalized from April 18th, 2023 to June 13th, 2023 after vomiting up 7 liters of blood. Had 3 surgeries on April 25th, 27th, 28th. Her mother was hospital from April 20th, 2023 to August 29th, 2023. And then the dates that led up to her death that I read earlier said that Aline vomited up blood from every hole in her body in 2020 and again in 2021. Gwendolyn was hospitalized in 2020 and 2021 and we moved in 2022. But harassment continued even after moving 5 times to get away from the Rolesville folks threatening us repeatedly. So they broke into their home at a Durham Duke Hotel, Garner apartment, Raleigh Townhouse, Kinston Best Western Hotel, a Trenton home, and the Roseville home called RPD for 497 times per their prior attorneys that the RPD received 467 calls, or the Roseville PD. Stalked and followed, spit on, front and back doors, broke into, hospitalized, and yeah, car destroyed. Said they poured acid on a Volvo, flattened 4 tires on the LS, cracked the LS window. Like I said, I already said, homes repeatedly broken into, and a number of other things. As they said, they tried to speak to sheriffs in Kinston, and it said it's just the good old boys fucking with you and your mother. They won't do nothing but harass you until someone gets the word to kill you both. So, from that details, you can gather who is the in this picture. Like I said, I'm not trying to say too much, but from what I already said and what she said, you can gather who is that in this picture and why they are continuously attacking her. And this is what led up to her mother's death. I think that's as much of the full story that we're going to be able to get. I mean, it's more Facebook posts, but one, obviously I wouldn't say she's not in her right mind, but obviously she's not in the best of moods. So, some of this is a little back and forth, this, there, and that. So it's not like she's giving us a exact storyline and things of that sort in order. As well as we're obviously not going to get that from the news because who are the people involved, and obviously the police department and other people are not going to give you that. But from here, we're able to tell that she obviously it was negligence against her mother, under the care of people in hospice and at the hospital and the universal health care and things of that sort. And the evidence to this was reportedly, left to be deleted by Chief Simons, and this evidence included a lot more things that could get a lot more people of value in trouble. Obviously, the people she mentioned, I'm not gonna repeat it, but the people that she mentioned, and on top of that, the files that she was given of evidence, that she said gave her a blank disk, a blank USB, and things of that sort. So this is a battered and bruised woman. Usually I try to look at both sides here, but it's very, very hard to look at, the state and the police side of this case, because it's very, especially when you see the pictures and, just the evidence, and it's just a lot of details here that's just make you very, very uncomfortable as a human being, especially as a black man in America. And you can just see, like, usually at first, when you seen the headline, before they let out who the suspect, and people start getting, gathering information and things of that sort, you didn't think it was, you was like, you kind of, thought like, what kind of YN would do some stupid stuff like that and shoot out the courthouse? But once you get the story, you can completely understand why this is justified. I mean, especially if Harris is obviously, like she said, conspiring with the judge, conspiring, giving her fake this. I'm not condoning her saying, just shooting them, but you can understand is what I'm saying. And I just feel like her part of the story should have been told, which is why I wanted to make this video. As well as I feel like some people are just being very ignorant to the fact. Well, I think people now seeing the whole picture or not. But if you go back with her Facebook comments and back a little bit, you see people like, oh, it's her fault for, leaving her mom in that care. But you got to understand, look at the economy we're in. Look at the environment we're in. She's 57. At this, she still has to work. You know, people are not at this point. People are not retiring really to their 70. They can't afford to. So she still has to work. Obviously, she's they talking about Oxford. If she live in Raleigh, that's still a little drive. But you say she was in Raleigh, Durham. Obviously, she's going back and forth trying to help and overlook at her mama. She might not have time to look at every piece of her body, her mom, and things of that sort. She can just see that her mom's health is depleting. And, obviously she's trying, and obviously she cared about her mama or she would have never did this. Or allegedly did this. She's still an innocent woman at this time. And so I feel like it's fair for people trying to say this is, people in her comments trying to say, her being left in that care is her fault. But it's a very hard situation. Like I'm saying, not condoning it, but understandable, 100%, very valid and justified. And I just felt like her part should be told. So that's really all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom of the video, and we out.